Giving birth is one of the most wonderful miracles of nature, especially when you discover the strange ways some animals do it. Here's your all-access look at what 10 animals look like while giving birth. What's up, Factnatics? This is Discovery Amuse, serving up your daily dose of the most outrageous, outlandish, and out-of-this-world fun facts. Stay glued to your screen because you won't believe what our number one pick does to its newborn babies. Number 10. Seahorse. If you're still stuck in the Middle Ages with your archaic notions of what men and women should and shouldn't do, then this aquatic creature might put your gender stereotypes to shame. Get this. Instead of the female, it's the male seahorses that actually get pregnant and give birth to their offspring. You heard that right. You see, when seahorses mate, the female seahorse puts her eggs into the male's pouch. Once the eggs have been safely transferred, the male will add his sperm, thus starting the fertilization process. With that, the mom dusts herself off and entrusts the baby seahorses to daddy. The male seahorse, which won't be the envy of dads anytime soon, then carries his little babies inside his pouch for 20 days. But that's just the beginning of it. Once the baby seahorses are ready for the world, Daddy Seahorse opens his pouch and it looks like he's literally coughing up the young ones, which, by the way, can reach up to 1,000. Seriously, it's a sight to behold. If you thought male seahorses shooting out of babies is incredible, our number one pick carries her eggs in her mouth. If that's not amazing to you, I don't know what is. Number 9. Giraffe. There's a lot of advantages to a giraffe's tremendous height. They can graze on the highest of treetops, run incredibly fast, and just overall stand out from the crowd. But it has its downsides too, and baby giraffes realize it as soon as they come out of their mama's wombs. Because of their long, slender legs that go as high as 6 feet, even drinking from a water hole is a daunting task. So, can you imagine how the heck they give birth to their calves? I guess that leaves them no choice but to give birth standing up. And yes, the baby calf enters the world falling 5 feet from its mother's womb. But no need to worry, the bones of the newborn calf are not that fragile. In fact, within just 30 minutes of being born, the baby giraffes can already stand on their own 4 feet. And after 10 hours, they can already run with their mothers. Run, baby giraffe, run! Number 8. Dolphin. Don't you just love these playful sea mammals, especially when they jump out of the water as if begging for your attention? It's a shame that more than 2,000 dolphins are held in captivity around the world because, capitalism. And birthing while in captivity is definitely not an ideal setup for them. On average, it takes 12 months for a mommy dolphin to carry her baby dolphin. When mommy dolphin undergoes labor, she gets irritable, breathes irregularly, has less appetite, and even gets contractions. But once the newborn pup plops out, mama dolphin immediately cuts off the umbilical cord and helps her newborn swim up to the surface to breathe in its first breath of air. And you will notice the mother and child's immediate bond. Number 7. Horse. For horse keepers and breeders, trying to predict their pregnant mare's due date is not easy, because while the average gestation time is 11 months, this can actually vary between 10.5 to 13 months. But there are certain signs that might say it's almost time to give birth. The mare's belly appears to drop. She becomes restless and maybe pawing the ground or walking in circles as if to say, "Honey, I think it's time." When a mare is expected to give birth anytime soon, they are preferably isolated in a nice clean stall bed with straw so she can immediately bond with her foal right after birth. When she's ready, the mare lies on her side and pushes hard until finally, her newborn foal wakes up to a brave new world. In just half an hour, the baby horse can already stand on its own and well on its way to become a majestic animal with gorgeous hair to die for. Next is an animal we can probably most relate to on this list. Number 6. Gorilla. It's interesting to observe a gorilla giving birth, if only because they are our closest cousins in the animal world after chimpanzees. In fact, we share 98% of our DNA with them. But is gorilla childbirth similar to human childbirth? A female gorilla's gestation period is around 8.5 months. That's pretty close to humans. Birth control seems to come naturally for gorilla moms because they typically give birth just every 4 years. However, newborns only have a 40% mortality rate. Well, that's a Debbie Downer. But newborn gorillas who do survive weigh about 2 kilos. And just like us, when we were kids, young gorillas enjoy playing and horsing around with other gorilla toddlers. They're too sweet. Now let's fly all the way to the Middle East and catch up with these photogenic humped beings that have become tourist attractions themselves. Number 5. Camel. And why not? Camels are so chill and friendly that they don't mind the countless tourists wanting a photo op while sitting on their backs. But it's probably not a good idea for pregnant camels. Expecting camels usually carry their unborn calves for 14 months, and when they're ready for childbirth, they usually find a private spot to do the deed. Not long after they're born, the newborn calf can already stand up. But interestingly enough, they are not born with their humps just yet. Their humps only form when they're old enough to eat solid food. Number 4. Squirrel. You've probably seen a couple of squirrels in your backyard chasing each other up and down tree trunks thinking, oh, they're probably just playing tag or something. Little did you know, there's a good chance they're actually engaging in a flirting dance, which, if successful, well, we already know where that leads to. Once a squirrel gets pregnant, she will carry her young anywhere from 29 to 65 days and can give birth from 2 to 8 kittens or kits at a time. To prepare for D-Day, a female squirrel will construct a nest either from a hole on a tree or by using leaves, twigs, and grass, much like a bird's nest. Born blind, hairless, and toothless, the fragile kits depend on their mommy for 2 to 3 months. During that period, Mama Squirrel feeds, bathes, and protects her young ones until they mature. As we went through this list, you've seen some of the strangest ways by which animals give birth, but what you're about to see is nothing short of breathtaking. Number 3. Kangaroo. Perhaps the female kangaroo has one of the most unbelievable childbirths in the entire animal kingdom. It usually takes a female roo 21 to 38 days to conceive her baby Joey. But what happens after she lets her infant out of her womb is a whole nother story. This tiny, jelly bean-sized thing is an actual newborn kangaroo, but it's not quite ready yet to face the outside world. So after Mama Roo gives birth to it, the premature Joey that's only slightly bigger than a grain of rice climbs up from the birth canal to its mommy's pouch, where it will attach itself to one of the mother's 4 teats to feed and grow for the next 9 months until it becomes a fully grown Joey ready to hop out into the world. Next up are magical creatures of the sea that can make the hairy Houdinis of the world blush in embarrassment. Number 2. Octopus. They can escape the tightest of spaces, can change their color almost instantaneously, and can even regenerate their tentacles. Take that, David Blaine. But for the female octopi, it's almost a curse to get pregnant because they actually die after giving birth. Once a mother octopus lays its eggs, it's the beginning of the end as she refuses to eat and wastes away. In some cases, they even tear off their skin or eat their own arms. Stressful, I know. But while they're still alive, the female octopi continues to cover and protect her eggs until they hatch. By the time the eggs do hatch, mommy octopi will have taken her last breath out of exhaustion, and the baby octopi are left to tend to themselves like a true-to-life Shakespearean tragedy. Our top animal on the list sure doesn't like to talk with its mouth full. Number 1. African Chiclet. You've probably heard of the expression, put your money where your mouth is. But what about, put your eggs where your mouth is? No? I think it should be a legit expression because it's exactly what a female African Chiclet does. The reproduction process for these aquatic wonders starts when a female Chiclet lays her eggs in a nest for the male to fertilize. Once that's done, the female then picks up the eggs with her mouth and lets them stay there until they hatch. This is called mouth brooding. And after 10 to 15 days, the eggs will hatch inside the mother's mouth. But Mama Chiclet won't completely let go of her young just yet. She will keep them in for 2 more weeks and will sometimes let them out to feed them. She's one overprotective mom, I'll give her that. So, which of these animals did you find the most fascinating? Be sure to comment them below. If you're still not part of our fantastic tribe of Factnatics, then now's your chance. Just smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you can stay up to date on our latest life-changing, boredom-busting content. And if what these 10 animals look like giving birth left you flabbergasted, then don't miss what newborn animals look like. Till then, stay amazing, Factnatics, and see you in the next video.